The NSA are encountering more and more dog attacks every year, and we have our annual dog worrying awareness at this time of year, that it's really important that people are aware of dog attacks and attacks to sheep, especially when they're lambing, and the most vulnerable point at this time of year. The new Dogs Protection of Livestock Amendment Scotland Act 2021 means that perpetrators could be fined up to £40,000 and 12 months in prison, or both. And it's really important that the courts take these penalties on board, because until we see headlines in the paper about somebody being fined a large amount of money, that people will take it seriously. There's more and more dog walkers out in the country, and the sheep are really vulnerable, and it's really important that we get the message across. We see far too often these attacks on livestock, but we don't find the perpetrator. So if you see anything happening, you need corroboration, and if you can get film footage and somebody else's film footage, you need corroboration, but film footage is ideal.
I mean, we've been farming here for 35 years now, and I think we've probably had 10 different incidents over the years, some pretty horrible, some not so. 2 years ago I had a particularly nasty one. I think it was 5 or 6 sheep quite severely injured. Some of them didn't make it. Last November we had another one, and she was very badly injured, but we managed to pull her through, and she's in here. So yeah, we do farm very close to the city, but yeah, they're in a field that's their own environment, and they should be safe in there. You know? I think a lot of the time it's not so much people wandering, it's people just letting their dogs loose. You know, they just open the door and let them go. Most of our problems have been early morning, and I'm convinced that's what happened. Open the door, let the dogs out for a run, and they've no idea what's going on. You know? It's incredibly difficult. I mean, we work hard. We have a lot of money invested in these sheep, these animals. We'll work hard, look after them. They're part of us. We live and breathe our animals. All farmers do. And to witness sheep getting attacked by dogs, torn to shreds in front of your eyes, the whole flock traumatised, is really horrible. It's really horrible, you know. And it takes the sheep months to recover, and us as well. You know, when you've had an incident like that, you're on edge for a long, long time waiting for the next one. Financially it hurts, you know, a lot of time and effort put into them, and you lose these sheep, you lose the lambs that they're going to have, or you end up with pet lambs to look after because the mums have been killed, which is a complete dead loss. So yeah, it's a big impact here. But just simply keep them on a lead, keep them under control. And I think every farmer would say the same. You know, you're welcome to come, have a look round and see what's going on across the fields and whatever, but please just keep them on a lead, under control.
Well, first I knew about it was I got a phone call from a resident in Balfron on Boxing Day to say there was somebody in among the sheep with 2 dogs that weren't on the leads and were basically chasing the sheep. So I went down. The time I got down there, the guy was back onto the main road with the 2 dogs on a lead, and I approached him and said, you know, do you realise you're not, for a start, do you realise you're not allowed to have your dogs off a lead chasing sheep? Yeah, oh no, I'm sorry. It says, the damage you're doing is unbelievable. I mean, look at the sheep are upset. Yeah, oh, I didn't mean it, this, that, the next thing, one thing after another. He basically kind of walked away from me as I was talking to him. And then on New Year's Day, I got a phone call again from somebody in the village to say that there was another person in among the sheep with a dog. They seemed to be having problems catching their dog. It was a young dog. So I went down again, and we got the guy just coming out of the field. Again, I made him aware of the problems and the this, that, the next thing. He was very apologetic, understood the damage or the potential damage he could be doing, didn't realise his dog would actually chase the sheep. It was a nice young dog. He says we were in the wood next to the field and the dog seen the sheep, jumped the fence and basically chased the sheep about. I didn't take it any further than that, apart from giving the guys both a warning that if it ever happened again I would have to go to the police and this, that and the next thing. So. Well, when we scanned in February, that group of sheep had a higher proportion of reabsorptions than any other groups. So there was a large number of sheep in there that weren't in lamb or were reabsorbing in lambs. So there's a financial impact to that. Is, you know, there's probably 10 or 11 sheep that I would have lambed that weren't in lamb or were losing their lambs. So we had to put them away. We've got signs everywhere, all the way down the footpath. Please stick to the footpath, keep your dogs on leads. We've got signs up that say the period we're lambing in or the period that we don't want dogs anywhere near sheep or off their leads. Doesn't seem to make any difference. We've put stuff on Facebook and other social media platforms to make everybody aware. The NFUS does a good job of making everybody aware as well. Doesn't seem to make any difference. I think personally the only way we're going to see an improvement is to change the law that dogs are not allowed off their lead anywhere near livestock or on farmland unless there's signage that says they're allowed to take their dogs off lead. It's a big long process. You've got to find evidence, this, that and the next thing. If in the two cases where I had problems, the guys were either out the field, the dogs were on a lead, there's no video evidence in fields and this, that and the next thing, so it's very hard to prosecute. I think the only way they're going to see an improvement is if we change the law, and then it's policed properly. If people have got their dogs off the lead, they're charged, and then they'll soon keep their dogs on leads. I think dog owners need to understand their dogs, be responsible, realise that the dog's natural instinct is to chase sheep, whether you've got good recall or not, and keep your dogs on leads around livestock and on farmland if you're unsure.